Welcome back to this week's Ohio Tech Report, where it's another exciting week for tech in the state. This Ohio Tech Report is presented by Apprenti, so we want to thank them. But first up, our special guest co-host of the week is Dan Risko from Transfr. Dan, welcome. Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're working on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris. So I'm here on behalf of my company, Transfr. Transfr VR is our product. What we do is we're building classroom to career pipelines for millions of workers around the country. They're the future of industry, everything from healthcare to manufacturing to green technology. We provide hands-on training using technology to allow users to get skills they need to be successful in their jobs. So thanks for having me, Chris.
Awesome. Well, Dan, thanks so much for joining. As I shared, Apprenti is our new Ohio Tech Report sponsor, and they're a 501c3 nonprofit that delivers registered apprenticeship programs to bridge the tech talent and diversity gaps by adapting the time-tested model of apprenticeship. Apprenti helps employers meet evolving workforce needs and trains future tech workers with an emphasis on underrepresented groups, including women, people of color, veterans, and people with disabilities. Apprenti's programs are industry recognized and federally approved for employers with tech talent needs across the United States. But Dan, we are now going to dive into story number one. We're going to kind of save some Ohio Tech Summit to the end. So the first one is an Ohio lawmaker has announced efforts to create a drone highway. So this is Ohio Representative Adam Holmes. He's out of Nashport, and he chairs the Ohio Aerospace and Aviation Technology Committee, and he's going to introduce 3 bills regulating navigatable airspace and unmanned aerial vehicles, including drones. The bills will focus on regulatory framework, which is huge because, we have these physical highways and roads that, we know to stay between 2 lines. But for drones, who knows? But around the flight paths based on the airspace above existing state highways and roadways. So that's kind of crazy to think. And it, I guess in a way also makes complete sense that, if we already have these roads, just take it up about 50 feet.
It's next step, right? It's where we're going. Think back to the future. I mean, it's where we're going, right?
It's crazy. I mean, and I know we've talked on this show previously about how companies like Kroger and Cardinal Health, so Kroger, for grocery delivery, and I think they're actually testing, dropping off bottles of ketchup last summer to like backyard barbecues in a couple places. I know like Kroger and different hospital systems, they're looking at drone delivery for, for pharmaceutical drugs. So think your prescription payment instead of having to go and be able to pick up, your Giant Eagle or Kroger pharmacy, it can get delivered. Same thing for another interesting use case I heard, Dan, was for kind of rural areas where maybe there's some food challenges around fresh produce and kind of grocery stores and making sure that all Ohioans have access. But that's something where drone delivery for those groceries could be a big deal. But it's pretty cool to see that. And again, it's going to be pretty wild to see drones doing all these deliveries, but we got to figure out how to get them from point A to point B.
Absolutely. Especially when you think about areas of the state that have food islands, there's not a grocery store nearby. Drones is a great opportunity to help those individuals out.
Yeah, very cool. And a huge, huge, huge public policy component to it. And that's a good kind of promo for our Wednesday, May 18th, Ohio Gov Tech Summit, where we're actually going to have that Representative Adam Holmes speaking. But it's our annual event, Ohio X, where we bring together government and tech leaders to talk about some of the big issues like this. So hopefully we get some updates personally from the representative. But Dan, we're going to go to story number 2. And this is another kind of government tie-in. And I know you have a history in government service, so hopefully you like these, but is the tri-state agencies are hopeful that this Ohio Narcotics Intelligence Center can jumpstart stalled investigations. This is from WCPO in Cincinnati. We will link that story. But basically, this is down in southwestern Ohio. This group is using high-tech tools in order to combat different things on the dark web and cryptocurrency. And so they're using technology innovation to solve some of these crimes around narcotics and other things, which of course are, big problems, not just in Ohio, but it's kind of cool to see when government innovates. And I know that's what you do now, Dan, and some of your work, but it's a pretty cool story to see some of these high-tech tools going to help solve crime and make Ohio a safer place.
Yeah, shameless plug, but really that's the future, is trying to figure out these technologies that we've used for gaming or exploration and really use them to the public benefit as well. And so great story to see that, we're utilizing this in other areas that maybe we would never even have thought 5 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So our third and final story is about the Ohio Tech Summit, which is happening tomorrow in Cleveland. It's completely sold out. So we want to thank all of our sponsors, our supporters, our partners, our speakers, and of course the attendees. But a cool point, and this is why we wanted to have Dan on the show this week, is we're doing a tech expo. So for attendees, you got to have the ticket. At the end of the day, we're going to get people up out of their seats. They're going to go experience technology, meet different companies, tech leaders like Dan. So Dan, maybe a bit of a little commercial for what people are going to be able to experience from you and the transfer team on Saturday.
Sure. So Transfer's goal is to help people get on a pathway to a job that's going to provide them and their families a sustainable wage without necessarily going the 4-year college degree route. So we're looking to target individuals that can help them get on the pathway where they can go and find a job that's going to get them the skills they need to get in a job right away. So manufacturing, automotive, construction, even hospitality, culinary, places where you can go and get the skills and master the skills using virtual reality, and then perhaps go get that credential, go to that community college, that technical college, go get that quick skill that you need to go into an industry that maybe you never even would have thought of before. We do a lot of work at the middle school, high school level in career exploration, introducing these different careers to students that maybe they don't have in their backyard. They never even would have known because mom and dad don't work in that field. And so by utilizing virtual reality, it's a really great way to introduce these new careers, get students excited, and we're seeing some great results from our partnerships around the country.
That's awesome. And Dan, if you could, because I love your background that you have. It looks like you're in a factory. And I know that's what some of your tech does. So, say you're going in the middle school or high school or working with a kind of a reskilling, organization, or even for attendees at the Ohio Tech Summit, what is the technology like? What's that user experience? What are they getting to try? And what does it kind of like feel and look like for them?
Sure. So the nice thing is you don't really need to have a lab, right? You can just use right here the Oculus headset that we have and we provide. We'll have them on site at Ohio X this weekend. But really, when you put it in, you get immersed. So that lab you see behind me there, that factory setting, you get immersed into a job setting. So this is not a virtual field trip. You are actually getting immersed into a job setting and doing the job in virtual reality. So you're turning a wrench. You're learning the PPE you need to do that job. And we actually have a virtual coach built into the headset that shows you how to do it the right way and actually test you to make sure that you master that skill. So we don't just take you through and say, great job, you completed it. We want you to master that skill. So that way, when you get onto that job site, you're actually doing the job correctly, the way that it was supposed to be taught, and you will be safer for it.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to learning more myself because I haven't had a chance to put on the headset yet. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow at the Ohio Tech Summit. But I know you're active out and about working with different schools and organizations across the state. So really cool stuff. Looking forward to seeing it myself. But Dan, thanks so much for joining. This has been another Ohio Tech Report. It's a cool week. There's some cool things about drones and some other innovations happening in government. But of course, our big news is the Tech Summit tomorrow. So again, thanks for everyone for the interest and support in being there. We're looking forward to a great day, and we'll see you there, Dan, as well. So have a great weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you on here next week. Bye-bye.